Hey everybody, my interest has been piqued, believe it or not, so today I'll be once again stating a bunch of facts to Culture and hearing what he has to say about them, whether they're true or false, or even have an interesting backstory.
I'm not interested in doing this if you're just going to end the video with another disgusting fact. I can't handle another one of those.
You've been deeper inside your mum than your dad ever has. In every beautiful woman out there,
Yes?
there is a tremendous turd forming in her intestine. Alright, I'll tone it down a little for this episode. Let's start with this one. In the United States, every year, 2,500 left-handed people die from using equipment that was designed for right-handed people.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I just can't see that being true. I've searched the topic and I can't seem to locate any real evidence to back it up. Although there are countless sites all over the internet stating the same statistic, 2,500 people annually. Is this just a case of false information traveling great distances, or is there really some sort of study that suggests that this is true? Who knows? I mean, there are some findings by American psychologists Diane Halpern and Stanley Coren, but there are countless flaws throughout it.
Really? You think you're capable of detecting flaws in studies conducted by legit psychologists? Someone needs to come off their high horse.
I never said that I found them myself. They're just discussed in internet articles for the public to see, and they're all pretty logical points for the most part. I just don't really feel like it's reasonable to assume that many lefties died.
At their own hands.
Ugh. Well done, Crash. Very clever. Gold star for you, buddy. Good job.
No need to be an asshole about it. How about this? 40% of the food produced in the world goes to waste.
I'm not sure about this one being true on a global scale, but in terms of just the US, it's definitely a fact. The National Resources Defense Council carried out some research which shows that 40% of the country's food supply gets wasted. The most outstanding point of waste is related to the consumers, us. You'd be surprised how much of our paychecks we spend on food that we just never get around to consuming. The Atlantic states that a family of 4 in the US can waste more than $2,000 worth of food in just a year, simply because they never bothered to eat it. They also state that, in the US, households dispose of roughly a quarter of all the food that they purchase.
Overeating is a national sport in the US though, isn't it? It makes sense that they would have extra.
Whoa, don't generalize like that. You'll get yourself obliterated by the comment section.
It was just a joke. Pull your panties out of your tight little butthole. Here's another fact for you. Most of what we know about the stages of hypothermia came from cruel human testing that the Nazis performed during the Holocaust.
This is a dark one. Between August 1942 and May 1943, at the Dachau concentration camp, the Immersion Hypothermia Project was conducted. The sole purpose of these experiments was to determine the most effectual remedy for those suffering the effects of hypothermia. Keeping in mind that these participants were all prisoners, they were, for the most part, forced to partake in the study, with some even promised to be released from the camp or to have their death sentences lifted. These promises were rarely ever fulfilled.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that much could be expected.
Told you you're taking way too long with these explanations. We've only discussed 3 topics so far, and look at the duration already. It's almost time to wrap up the video.
Do you want the actual facts or just some half-assed response?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Actually, it's probably best that you don't. Come on, throw one more fact at me.
Okay then. Culture, did you know that?
Yes?
Microscopic mites are probably fucking the shit out of each other on your eyelashes right now. Good night, everybody!
Follow CultureCrash on social media! Like and subscribe for more!